Board members, we all set? Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Community Unit School District 300, Board of Education, I would like to thank you for being in attendance, both virtually and in person, for tonight's board meeting. At this time, I would like to reconvene the meeting of the Community Unit School District 300 Board of Education to order for Tuesday, April 11th, 2023. Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Yes. Burkett,
Present.
Fiorentino,
Present.
Lamarca, present. Scarpino,
Present.
Stevens, Thomas,
Present.
Zettler.
Present.
You have 7 board members present.
Thank you. Before Dr. Harkin does the pledge with Hampshire Elementary, parents, you are more than welcome to get up, take pictures of your kids, or grandparents, if you're here, please. This is a great thing to do. So the administrators right here in the front row will be moving for you to open up the space, and so please feel free to do that. Dr. Harkin.
Yes, I'm pleased to invite Principal Jennifer Nolan to the podium to introduce her Hampshire Elementary School students to lead us in tonight's pledge.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Jen Nolan, and I am the proud principal of Hampshire Elementary School. Tonight, I am honored to introduce you to 9, it was going to be 12, but we only have 9 of our 5th grade students that will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. These students were carefully selected by their teachers and peers after being recognized for demonstrating leadership and pause behavior at Hampshire Elementary School, as well as exceeding expectations for iReady lesson completion in the 3rd quarter of school. At Hampshire Elementary School, pause behavior is demonstrated by showing respect to each of the letters in the word pause, in which the P stands for people, the A stands for academics, the W stands for world, and the S stands for self. And so all students and staff work really hard to demonstrate pause behavior in all areas of HES, but these 5th grade students have done an exceptional job leading our school, and we are very proud of them. So please welcome Sam Becker, Archer Early, Aubrey Esmail, and Talia Fida, Haley Hagendorn, Cameron Moody, Maxima Morris, Haley Pizzolatto, and Alexis Tuzolino. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Parents, you are welcome to exit, unless, of course, you want to stick around for a lengthy meeting. Thank you. For those who have watched our board meetings both in person and over the internet, you will remember we have rules of decorum. These rules serve a purpose so we as a board can have a meaningful and productive board meeting. In order for this to occur, decorum must be maintained. The following are the rules of decorum. First, There's no need for anyone to call out comments during our meeting or to raise their voice, nor to interrupt another speaker or presenter. We as a board will listen to you and we will be respectful. We will consider your comments, but will not dialogue or engage with speakers in this forum. Board members may choose to discuss matters brought up during public comment during board discussion. However, I need to remind everyone, this would be a board discussion, and the board will not dialogue or engage with anyone other than the superintendent and other board members. I ask you to please be respectful, civil, and courteous during our meeting. Second, if a person chooses to be disruptive, I will gavel the person and ask them to please stop their disruptive behavior. Additionally, our district safety officer or his agent may warn them that if they choose to continue their disruptive behavior, additional consequences will be forthcoming. Third, if a person chooses to continue to be disruptive and not follow the rules, they will be removed from our meeting. This action is a direct result of the person's choice to be disruptive. Fourth, we as a board will respectfully listen to each speaker. Just because we didn't vote the way some wanted us to does not mean we didn't listen or take into consideration what you had to say. Some of us take notes during presentations and therefore take our eyes off the speaker. It doesn't mean we are not listening. Fifth, in our effort to accommodate the ability for more seating in our boardroom, we respectfully request that the audience remain in their seats throughout the duration of the meeting, with the exception of using the restroom or speaking at the podium. And finally, I want to thank you in advance for your cooperation. The board and I look forward to a meaningful and productive meeting. Item number 5 is the approval of the agenda. There will not be a second closed session. Again, no second closed session. Therefore, may I have a motion to approve the amended agenda?
So moved. Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Stevens.
Aye.
Zeller. Thomas. Burkett.
Aye.
Lamarca, aye. Scarpino.
Aye.
Fiorentino.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Dr. Harkin?
Yes, I would like next to invite, is it Tommy Parisi or is it Alex Fisher? Alex Fisher, sorry, I couldn't see you, up to the podium to acknowledge our D300 Special Olympics Illinois High School Division II basketball state champions.
Thank you, everybody. I just have a list of thank yous and gratitude for everybody here today. We're going to do gratitude. So I'd like to start by saying thank you to all the D300 teachers, staff members that attended our staff game this year and participated. I'd like to say thank you to the D300 and the Jacobs athletic department and administration, including Jason Ziles and Principal Valley, for all of their help coordinating all of our practices and all of our events this year. I'd like to say thank you to our parents for their transportation to and from all of our practices, all of our games, for all of your communication, all of your thanks. It's such an honor to coach all of these wonderful athletes in front of me. I'd like to thank our student helpers today. We have one of them here, Maddie. Thank you so much for all of your help. We have helpers from all 3 schools, which get to participate with our athletes, which is so great to see. And lastly, thank you to the board for all of your support, continued coming out to support us in person, for your financial support, and for the space to be able to compete in these wonderful events. Lastly, I'd like to recognize Mr. Jim Blasik. This is, some would call him the father of D300 Special Olympics, maybe the grandfather.
Not that old, Jim.
And he's heading into retirement this year, so if we could give him a round of applause, I think that'd mean a lot to him. Athletes, when you hear your name, Mr. Blakes is going to hand you an award for our recognition for our state competition. Not here today is Millie Garcia, Peyton Hipwell, up next we have Chloe Jensen. Danny Corner.
Hey, Danny.
Adam Krasinski. Stephen McKender. Ethan Newitt. Isak Oriol. Evian Ramirez. Brandon Rumpel. Ian Stevenson.
Hey, Ian.
And the last two are not here today, but congratulations to DeAndre Valdez and Connor Wood.
Yeah.
Thank you again to everybody involved this season. We appreciate it. Guys, we're going to walk around back and shake hands, okay?
Way to shoot. Pleasure. Congratulations.
Congratulations, moms and dads, parents. Outstanding, outstanding.
All right, now I'd like to introduce, bring Tommy Parisi, Director of PE, Health Drivers, Education, and Athletics to the podium to acknowledge our 2023 IHSA state qualifiers for high school winter sports.
Good evening, Dr. Harkin, Board of Education. It's a great honor to come to you tonight to celebrate some amazing athletes. We've had a very successful winter athletic season for our IHSA athletes. We have representation from all three of our high schools and some first evers. I think it's the first time ever that we've had 3 state qualifiers for cheerleaders. So all 3 of our cheerleading teams qualified for state this year. In addition, we've had wrestlers from all 3 of our high schools qualify, in addition to the first time ever, a female wrestler qualifying for the first time ever, the state hosting a female wrestling IHSA championship, and she qualified for it in the first year of its existence, so we're very proud of that. But you guys don't want to hear from me. Let's get the students up here so we can celebrate them appropriately. With me right here, I have Steve Gertz.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much to Dr. Harkin and the Board of Education. It is a true honor to be here representing Dundee Crown tonight. Before I begin introducing our coaches, we did a little work on taking a look at our grades and our athlete. And so I always say sports and activities have a huge impact on what we do academically in our schools. I am truly proud to say, looking at our varsity athletes for this winter, our cumulative GPA of all of our athletes was a 3.25 out of 4. And so we are truly honored with our athletes and excited about the importance of academics and being truly a student first. So thank you to all of you for the support that you provide to us. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Tim Hayes, who is our head wrestling coach at Dundee Crown. So thank you.
Thank you, and good evening. I'm here to talk about Porter Leith. He was our state qualifier this year at the 195 pound weight class. He's a 4-year varsity wrestler. He had a career record of 90-10. 2 of those seasons kind of got shortened because of COVID and then a facial injury. But overall, he ended our season this year with a 39-4 record, 26 pins. He was a champ. He's a 2-time champ of the Geneva New Build tournament. He took second in the 46-team tournament in Whitewater, Wisconsin, losing to the runner-up in that state. He also was the regional champ twice. He took third at sectionals this year, and overall, he was our team leader, 3-time all-conference, 3-time team leader, 3-time all-conference, and a 3-sport athlete. During COVID, he tried to do 4 sports. So he's still undecided with college, but he is just the mold that you want your athletes to be. He's a great student first. I think he carries a perfect 4.0 or just right there. A lot of honors classes, AP classes. He's a peer mentor. He does everything for the school, for his classmates, for his teammates. He's just a great person, and he will sadly be missed. So Porter Leith, our 195 state qualifier for Dundee Crown. And next, I would like to introduce our girls wrestling coach, Coach Jessica McDowell.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. I'm here to talk about Miss Perla Lamelli. She is Dundee Crown's very first IHSA state qualifying girls wrestler. There's no shortage of accomplishments for her. She's a junior this year, so we are anxious to see what next year holds. I've had the privilege of knowing Perla since middle school. I was one of her wrestling coaches at CMS when she was in her very first year. She was brand new to the sport, but super eager to learn. Perla worked harder than most and kept up with teammates that had been wrestling for years. I could see the passion she had for the sport immediately. That brings us to today. So flash forward 3 years, and I find myself with the opportunity to coach her again. The Dundee Crown coaching staff had molded this beginner wrestler that I once knew into this incredibly focused, hardworking, and committed young lady. This season, Perla impressed us all. Her final record wound up being 24-11. She got first place in 4 tournaments this year: Waukegan, Grayslake, Canelan, and Joliet. Perla placed 4th at the Schaumburg sectional, winning 6 matches to be able to get her ticket to state. Once she was down there, her very first match was absolutely tough. She wound up wrestling the girl who won the tournament in her weight class, but that didn't stop her. She won her next 2 matches and then found herself against a very tough competitor that ultimately ended her season a little earlier than she may have wanted. But she placed 8th overall in the state. And other than just being a tremendous athlete, she's a wonderful young lady. She is an incredibly hardworking person. She's kind to every person around her. She's a wonderful, positive role model to her teammates and leads those girls, amazingly. I'm super excited for what next year's going to bring, and the sky's the limit for you, Perla. Congratulations. We'll go this way.
Yep, you too.
Coach? Yeah, so thank you.
I know Tim is walking out right now, but just so everyone knows, Tim is a Dundee Crown and CMS graduate, And our next head coach coming up is also a Dundee Crown graduate, Erica Hopp, and she's going to be talking about our cheerleading program.
It's much colder in here. All right, almost out. Are we good to go? Good evening. I'm Erica Hopp, and this is Sarah Newman, my co-varsity coach, who is also a Dundee Crown grad. Thank you for having us tonight and for recognizing our athletes. In front of you is the very first ever qualifying state team in competitive cheer from Dundee Crown. There's a lot we could say about these athletes. They are the best of the best, arguably some of the best athletes we have in the district, but I'm biased. They work incredibly hard. These kids don't stop. Cheer is a very tricky sport. We start in April and we end in March. We had a very short break and we're already back at it for the next school year. But these kids, they show up. They put in a lot of hard work. Their parents are incredibly supportive. The district has been very supportive to cheer and have pushed the way to make cheer or to recognize cheer as a competitive sport. And these kids are like pushing boundaries, breaking, records, doing all the hard work. And the best part about it is we don't have to beg them to do it. Some kids these days, it's a little more challenging. But these kids, they show up every time you ask them. I told them about tonight, and they all show up. We couldn't be more proud of them. Sarah and I are thrilled at their success, but it's all about them. We just got lucky enough to coach such a great team. We're losing 7 seniors this year, which we will miss. Some of them are 4-year athletes, varsity athletes, most of them. And they work hard. They tumble all year round. Like cheer is a very, very challenging sport, team sport. And the best part about this team is they qualified for state. They then placed in the semifinals and advanced to the finals at state, and they ended up placing 8th in the state for large varsity cheer. Anything else? Okay, so we will say your name. You guys could just step forward, okay? First, Anastasia Morgan. Janiyah Lewis. Just go right down the list. Alina Acuna. Alexa Baxter. Morgan Webb. Amanda Quillen. Rachel Sina. Tess Weary. Brooke Dowdikin. Sol Perez. Alice Jinkovic. Madison Paul. Annika Maclazow. Kelly Christensen. Nevea Medina. William Bacchus. Lucas Mesher. And Nolan Grugel. Did I say it right? This was by far the hardest thing they had to do all year. But thank you.
We'll have them walk.
Okay.
What? We had a successful winter. That was just Dundee Crown. Good problem to have.
Okay.
And that was Dundee Crown's state athletes. And we now would like to welcome Hampshire's athletes. We have Matt Todd, our wrestling coach.
Good evening, Board of Education and Superintendent Harkin. I'm Matt Todd, the head wrestling coach at Hampshire High School. This year, we're fortunate to have a state qualifier in junior Joey Ochoa. Joey's overall record was 27-19. During the season, he placed 6th at the Moore Prettyman Barrington Tournament, 4th at the Rockford East Giardini Tournament, 1st place at the Tom Dubois Richmond Burton Tournament, and 9th place at the 47th Sycamore Invitational. During the state series, he took 3rd at regionals and placed 4th at sectionals. In his qualifying match, Joey pinned his opponent that he previously lost to twice during the season. At the state tournament, he won a match and lost 2. We look forward to continued success from Joey and his teammates. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Next, we have Hampshire's cheer coach, Emily Giorgio.
Hello, everybody. Unfortunately, the Hampshire Varsity program cannot attend tonight, but it is an honor to speak on behalf of the program. This was our 11th consecutive year qualifying for state, in addition to our second year being in the large division. This season, our athletes continue to push through difficult times and continuously achieve new goals. One special highlight of our season was becoming sectional champions for the 3rd year in a row. This program continues to build strong and determined athletes, and I look forward to future seasons to come. I'm going to have my assistant, Macy Delby, announce the athletes.
Yes. No, they couldn't be there today. We still would like to honor them by saying their names. Amaya Blake, Magenta Caldera, Mia Campion, Ella Cotherman, Ava Drafts, Jordan Fleury, Julia Frenette, Ella Helminski, Emma Helminski, Esme Insko, Georgiana Iwas, Julia Juska, Bella Cavanda, Abby Lackmacher, Callie Madrick, Ellie Neitzel, Krista Schumann, Bella Vernon, and Danny Young.
And in conclusion, we'd like to recognize our Jacobs athletes with Athletic Director Jason Ziles.
Good evening. First coach that I'd like to introduce is our D300 boys swimming co-op coach, Miss Molly Gomberg.
Turn and face them. You're good? Okay. There we go. Now do the hokey pokey and then, yeah. All right, well, thank you so much, Superintendent Harkin and the rest of the board members for having us here to celebrate all of our wonderful athletes. We really appreciate it. Our state qualifier this year is Pavlo Komarov, who's a junior at Jacobs. I have grown up in this area, and one of the perks of that is that I've had the opportunity to coach a lot of our athletes as younger athletes before they get to high school, and Pablo is one of those athletes, and so it's been really fun to watch him grow up, not just as a 11, 12-year-old, but now as a junior in high school. Pablo is one of the most friendly kids on our team, and he is a big example of what one of the values we really push on our kids is just being friendly and welcoming and good sportsmanship, and Pablo's one of those athletes you can always see talking to old friends on a pool deck or making new friends, and it's really fun to see him in his element in that way. A quick story that I have that demonstrates Pablo's personality as well as his ability to set goals and work towards them occurred the week before sectionals. That week, he was saying the entire week
that he was A, going to qualify for state, and B, push me and my assistant coach into the pool when he did. He hadn't swum. He hadn't swum under the state qualifying time at that point yet. But the idea that he was going to make that time as well as push me in the pool just kept getting like stronger and stronger the entire week. He was also convinced I told him he could push me in, and there is absolutely no way that was going to happen. The day of sectionals came around, and you could just tell Pablo was in the zone. He had that goal in his mind. He was ready to go. The second he dove off the block for his race in the 50 free, I knew he had it in the bag. He looked so strong, so good in the water. So the second he touched the wall under that state qualifying time, I was cheering as loud as I could, but far from the edge of the pool. So Pablo is a naturally gifted swimmer with huge potential. Pablo, I hope you know that all of our coaches, Rebecca DeZubla and I, have such high hopes for you and are very excited to see what you can achieve in the future. So congratulations, Pablo.
Next up, I'd like to introduce our cheer coaches. We have head coach Kara Mall and her assistants Sarah Wenzelman and Samantha Ricks.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for welcoming us into the board meeting this evening. We are very excited to honor our athletes from Jacobs High School who did qualify for state this year. These athletes, as well as the ones who are unable to attend this evening, work diligently all year round, working on their culture with our program, working on all of their different skills, stunting, tumbling, their cheer components as well. We are very proud of our program and the traditions that we have. These athletes are 4-time qualifying for them, but 7-time qualifying for our entire program. And it is a tradition that we are honored to have. So we congratulate them. And then again, thank you all for welcoming us into the board meeting this evening. Thank you. In addition, I would like to also add the 4 that were able to attend. We have Olivia Reynolds, our first athlete. We have Allie Spieth, our next athlete. Taylor Spieth. And Lindsay Pastelnick. Thank you.
I'm just going to go with them.
Yeah, I think you should. Get up there and get
And I believe that ends student recognition.
Okay. We're on item number 7, public
Ooh,
participation.
hang on, but I lied, we have staff recognition next, so. We did finish student, but not staff, so, all right, if we can go to the next slide, please. So just a couple of quick announcements on various appreciation days that have occurred in April. Just very recently, we did have Assistant and Associate Principal Appreciation Day that we celebrated on April 4th. Our assistant and associate principals are vital to District 300 as they help to support the development and administration of school programs that are consistent with our goals and objectives. They provide leadership and direction to staff, assist in ensuring our board policies and procedures are followed at our schools, and help to promote educational environments that are conducive to student learning. I'd like to share my appreciation for our assistant and associate principals on behalf of District 300. We thank them and you immensely for supporting our schools, our principals, and our students. We did celebrate School Librarian Day on April 4th. We celebrated our library media specialist. Our library media specialists provide valuable instructional support for all curricular areas. They provide students and teachers access to a variety of informational resources, including books, periodicals, databases, and digital resources. Our library media specialists teach students how to locate, evaluate, and use information effectively and ethically, helping them to develop critical thinking and research skills. Please join me in thanking our dedicated D300 library media specialists. And last but not least, and we're here to have one of our very own paraprofessionals in the audience, Ms. Deb Lupa, our DESA union president, on April, yes. On April 5th, we recognize our District 300 paraprofessionals. Our paraprofessionals work closely with our certified staff members, typically serving as teaching assistants or instructional aides. They have a direct impact on student learning, often working side by side with special needs and at-risk students. Throughout our buildings, paraprofessionals assist students in developing organizational and study skills. They monitor behavior management programs, oversee and document student classroom performance and behavior, and help provide safe passage for students. I would like to extend my appreciation and my deep appreciation for our paraprofessionals. And Deb, thank you for being here tonight and being such a great supporter, and for all your members do for District 300. So thank you very much. All right, so this would have been really bad if we missed this, so thank you, Dr. Scarpino. So tonight, we'd like to announce 3 of our new administrators that are replacing some existing people, and one that's being promoted into a new position. So first off, I'd like to invite Angela Hammond to come forward as our Lake in the Hills principal to recognize her. And we're very lucky to have Mr. Bob Clabone in the audience tonight to support her. He is retiring at the end of this year, and Angela is very fortunate to have worked with Bob this last year and appreciate all that Bob has done to support our school district and walk in the shoes at Lake in the Hills. So, regarding Angela, because it's about her. After a rewarding career spanning over 30 years in public education, we're still talking about Bob right now because that's not you. Lake in the Hills principal Bob Clabone will retire at the end of this school year. And we have been very lucky to have Mr. Clabone as part of District 300 for the last 9 years. And I do want to congratulate you on your retirement and all that you've done for District 300. Mr. Clabone will spend the next few months working closely with staff to ensure a smooth leadership transition. But we are here, and it's not been 30 years that you've been in District 300. So tonight, I'm excited to introduce Angela Hammond as the next Lake in the Hills Elementary School principal. Angela, who currently serves as the assistant principal at Lake in the Hills, will be appointed principal effective July 1st, 2023. Ms. Hammond brings a wealth of knowledge and experience in the field of early childhood and elementary education, and we are confident that she will make a significant impact on student learning. I did teach her one of her courses for her principal classes, so I might take some credit for it as well, too, although it's all her. Angela began her career at Peary Elementary teaching kindergarten and 3rd grade for 13 and a half years, and since that time, she has demonstrated exceptional leadership skills and a commitment to enhance the learning experience for all students. In 2019, Ms. Hammond served as the assistant principal at Peary Elementary, where she managed student discipline and coordinated staff development opportunities. During the 2022-23 school year, Ms. Hammond collaborated with, Ms. Hammond moved to the Lake in the Hills Elementary to serve as assistant principal. This year, she collaborated with Teachers Daily while remaining connected to student learning in the classroom. I am very confident that Angela will do an outstanding job to continue to support and challenge all students to reach their full potential, both socially and academically. Please join me in congratulating Angela Hammond as being our next Lake in the Hills principal. All right. Next up, Dr. Melanie Gravel. Will you please come forward? And just so you know, her husband, RJ, is here with her tonight. So I am excited to announce that Dr. Melanie Gravel as the new Director of Early Childhood and Elementary Literacy. We are confident, and she's already showing us how we can be so confident in her, that she will make significant impact on successful academic outcomes for our students. Melanie's passion for educational leadership led her to serve as an assistant principal at Liberty Elementary School and Prairie Grove Elementary School in District 46. Melanie then served as principal at James C. Bush Elementary School in Johnsburg, District 12, before she transitioned to the principal position at Gary D. Wright Elementary School, where she has worked for the last 8 years. In each of these roles, Melanie focused on instructional leadership, staff development, and fostering safe and effective learning environments. Melanie has been an active member of the Illinois Principals Association and the Association of Supervision and Curriculum Development, where she earned recognition as an emerging leader in the class of 2015. I know she's going to be doing an outstanding job. As you know, we're heavily invested in making sure we help to improve our academic outcomes in relationship to our reading and ELA. And like I said, she's already stepped in assisting with the work that we're committed to as part of our strategic plan. She definitely comes with us with extensive experience and dedication to education. Melanie is well equipped to serve as the Director of Early Childhood and Elementary Literacy, where she will continue to make meaningful impacts on students' academic and social emotional growth. I am excited to say congratulations. We're thrilled to have you on the team and looking forward to all the great things you'll do, Melanie. And again, we'll have your husband stand up, who's here to support you. So, RJ, and RJ is the, what's your role, title now? Associate Superintendent at Northfield Glenbrook. So definitely well connected and definitely a great background and supporters for public education and their family. So thank you. All right, and last but not least, I would like to introduce Beth Gowdy. And Beth, is your husband with you? What's it? Okay, Kyle. Got it, I'll get it right, yeah. So Kyle, thank you for being here as well tonight. So I am excited to announce Mrs. Beth Gowdy as our new Director of Secondary Literacy. And just a little background, she was the coordinator previously, and with the work that we're committed to in the strategic plan, we have decided to make 2 director positions. And so, but Beth will be overseeing our 6 through 12 literacy so that we can make sure we've got strong focus and strong support of what we're trying to do with how we're going to be moving forward. No pressure on either one of you on what we are doing for our kids in this area. But just as a little background, Beth began her career in 2012 as a classroom teacher. Over the course of her 8-year tenure as a teacher, she developed a deep passion for helping students develop strong literacy skills and a love of reading. In 2020, Beth began her 2-year service at Dundee Middle School as an assistant principal, where she helped to oversee a range of academic and administrative functions. Beth has served as a coordinator of literacy for the past year, and in this role, she has been able to guide literacy instructional coaches as they work with buildings across the district, support collaborative teams of teachers and building administrators as they make decisions on instruction and assessment. She's provided professional development for teachers and administrators and has collaborated with colleagues to ensure that students receive the support that they need to succeed. Beth is committed to empowering our students to become lifelong learners and believes that literacy is a foundational component of academic success. So please let us congratulate Beth on taking this big task on, and I'm looking forward to seeing the great things you'll do as well, too. I know you guys will be a power team, so. They're dangerous. Thank you. And Kyle, if we can get you to stand up, and thank you for your support. And that is the end of our recognition portion of the meeting.
Thank you. If you guys want to go, I mean, you are welcome to go. I'm excusing you. I truly am. So you are free to go. No, you stay. Yeah, the rest of you stay.
Congratulations.
We are on public participation right now. Please note that the Open Meetings Act provides any person the opportunity to address the board under the adopted public participation policy. That being said, the board would like to advise the public that we will not consider statements read during public participation that are not authored by the reader to be credible unless the board has previously received the statement in writing from the author. Additionally, the author should indicate that he or she has granted the public participant the authority to read the statement on his or her behalf. Tonight, we have had one person sign up for public participation. I will call the individual up to the podium. Please state your name and relationship to the district and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Please note the following. The speaker has been provided with guidelines for public participation. The board will consider your comments, but will not dialogue or engage with you in this forum. Questions raised may be assigned to the superintendent for an answer. As appropriate, a member of the administration may reach out to the speaker to give them relevant information or to ask for additional information. This is done to make sure the board has all the information needed to properly address the speaker's concerns. Charges, complaints, or challenges against staff members of the district will not be heard in open meetings and should be made in writing to the board and the superintendent. We also ask that the speaker refrain from personally attacking district staff or members of the board. Pursuant to board policy, the speaker this evening will be limited to 3 minutes. We ask the speaker to be respectful, and all individuals who have in the audience to please be respectful of the speaker. The first individual is Rita Hassan.
Dear school board members, my name is Rida Hassan, and I am a former student and current concerned member of D300. Schools are meant to be safe and secure environments for students to learn and grow. However, in recent times, the increase in school shootings and violence has led to growing concern for many, including parents, educators, students, as well as members of the community. I would like to take some time today to urge our board and community to take immediate focus on the safety of our students, teachers, and staff, particularly in the form of investing in security scanners for our schools. Security scanners can help prevent students from bringing dangerous items into the school. Metal detectors, for example, can detect weapons such as guns, knives, and other sharp objects that students may try to bring into the school. This can deter students from even attempting to bring weapons onto school property, knowing that they will be caught. The presence of security scanners also sends a message that the school takes safety seriously, which can deter students from considering any violent behavior. Furthermore, the presence of security scanners in schools can provide an extra layer of security for students, staff, and the community, knowing that measures are in place that can make schools safer and secure. Ultimately, this will lead to a more positive learning environment where students can focus on their studies and teachers can focus on teaching. While the initial cost of purchasing and installing security scanners may be high, the long-term benefits of increased safety and reduced risk outweigh these costs. Schools can explore various financing options, such as grants or partnerships with law enforcement agencies, as well as seeking sponsor donations from the community to help offset the cost of implementation. Additionally, the cost of installing and maintaining security scanners can be offset by the savings that schools can achieve by preventing incidents of violence, such as decreased legal fees and insurance premiums. This investment can help prevent the loss of life and injury in the event of a school shooting or another violent incident, which is priceless. In 2023 alone, the K-12 database has recorded 89 gun-related incidents at schools so far, which is by far more than the amount of school days we have even had in this year. How many bright young lives with hopes and dreams has our nation lost to senseless violence, and how many more lives will it take for us to prevent these incidents from occurring? In conclusion, despite the initial cost of investment, we must consider investing in security scanners to ensure the safety of our students and staff. The benefits provided by the implementation, including prevention of violence, increased security, and reduced anxiety, make them a worthy investment in order to put our children first. I urge the school board to consider these points made, consider the amount of tragedies that have occurred over recent times, and please put the lives of our students and staff first. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 8, board announcements. Good news. Board members?
Eastview Elementary School continues to see success with Action to End Alzheimer's Night. Eastview Elementary School recently hosted its annual Action to End Alzheimer's Night, an event that was started in 2012 to honor former Eastview kindergarten teacher Bob Hinkle, who passed away in 2010. Action to End Alzheimer's Night raises funds for the Alzheimer's Association while also providing an entertaining setting for students and their families to interact with school staff. Eastview math interventionist Alex Caton reported that this year's event raised more than $2,300 for the Alzheimer's Association, with the night itself drawing more than 400 people. She helped plan this year's fundraiser alongside PE teacher Leela Hall. Principal Dr. Megan Buchanan thanked everyone who helped support the effort, which to date has raised about $20,000 for the Alzheimer's Association. She said, "Our Eastview families had a great time at this year's Action to End Alzheimer's Night, all while raising money for an important cause and honoring the memory of Barb Hinkle." D300 congratulates Eastview Elementary School for hosting an engaging fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association.
Hampshire High School math team competes at regional event. The Hampshire High School math team recently competed at the Illinois Council of Teachers of Mathematics regional event at Rock Valley College, with multiple students qualifying for the state competition, which will take place April 22nd at Illinois State University. Hampshire placed third at the event overall. In addition, Hampshire's junior-senior 8-person team comprising Eric Brown, Zoe Horn, Landon Lamarca, Aiden Knobs, Shiv Patel, Vivian Tackett-Irwin, Alex Jayla, and Tyler Yu placed first in its respective contest, automatically qualifying for state. Hampshire's junior-senior 2-person team comprised of Shiv Patel and Tyler Yu placed first, automatically qualifying for state. Hampshire's pre-calculus team, which includes Cooper Jaworski, Landon Lamarca, Shiv Patel, Zedric Suarez, Vivian Tackett-Irwin, and Tyler Yu placed second, qualifying for state via wildcard. And Hampshire students Aiden Knobs and Studi Patel qualified for state after placing fourth in Algebra 2 and third in Geometry, respectively. The team is coached by Dennis Wozniak. Congratulations to the Hampshire High School math team for its third place overall finish at the regional competition, and best of luck at state.
Jacobs High School junior Pranav Bujapali was runner-up at the IHSA Policy Debate State Finals. Pranav is a junior and co-captain of the Jacobs debate team, which is coached by Nurse Marge. Additional District 300 students competed at the event as well. Participating from Dundee Crown High School were Andrew Chang, Gabriella Lenart, Emily Nieves, Vidi Patel, Natalia Salgado, and Lucero Santillan. Participating from Hampshire High School were Mason Kalinsky, Faith Leah, Zach Lumen, Michelle Parker, and Ben Sharani. And additional participants from Jacobs High School were Tanvi Bujapali, Sankurth Madali, and Summer Smigash. District 300 congratulates the Dundee Crown, Hampshire, and Jacobs High School debate teams for the success at state.
District 300 Foundation for Educational Excellence has announced this year's Distinguished Educator and Employee of the Year nominees. By honoring the D300 educator and employee who best meets the award criteria, it is the D300 Foundation's hope that the excellence that exists in our schools will continue to advance. Congratulations to the following nominees. From Algonquin Lakes Elementary, Aaron Linden. From Algonquin Middle School, Lindsay Thomas. From Carpenters Middle School, Edith Garcia. From DeLacy Family Education Center, Tanya Haas. From Dundee Highlands Elementary, Colin Wallenberger. From Dundee Middle School, Megan Nichols and Nicole Gomez Johnson. From Dundee Crown High School, Robert Holloway and Celeste Wilson. From Eastview Elementary, Amy O'Donnell. From Gilbert's Elementary, Michelle Kruger. From Gulfview Elementary, Michelle Havesi. From Hampshire's Elementary, Sonia Rowdy. From Hampshire Middle School, Stacy Cribbs. From Hampshire High School, Robert Behringer and Ubaldo Perez. From Jacobs High School, Jeff Davis and Elaine Arvidsson. From Lake in the Hills Elementary, Yaixa Episcopo. From Lakewood Elementary, Amanda Larson and Irma Solis. From Liberty Elementary, Ashley Farmer and Christian Hernandez. From Lincoln Prairie Elementary, Christian Luarchik and Kristen Giagrigo. From Meadowdale Elementary, Laura Hernandez. From Newbert Elementary, Eugenia Bowles. From Parkview Elementary, Sarah Cook and Ann Barth. From Perry Elementary, Nicole Mergens. From Sleepy Hollow Elementary, Zoki Russo. From Westville Community School, Nicole Wall and Kimberly Bowen. From Wright Elementary, Stacy Smith. And from Central Office, Griselda Hernandez and Richard Weger. The D300 Distinguished Educator and Distinguished Employee of the Year will be announced during an awards banquet on Tuesday, April 18th at Boulder Ridge Country Club in Lake in the Hills. Tickets are available through March 24th on the D300 Foundation's website, d300foundation.org. The winners of the Distinguished Educator and Employee of the Year Awards will be recognized at a future board meeting, and I should get credit for going through all those names. And only messing up a couple.
All right, so that definitely, I want to thank the board members that came and also helped give out the awards. We go to all the buildings and we acknowledge the staff members and surprise them, and it's a really wonderful experience to go out and acknowledge them, and definitely look forward to next week and hope and encourage people to attend and celebrate our amazing educators. So superintendent's report. Up first is Dr. Smith to provide an update on Perry Elementary School improvement.
Good evening, Superintendent Harkin and board. Quick update here for you about Perry Elementary School and the improvement plan. And we will follow this up with an end of the year update in June. Good. And so it's close to the end, but not quite there yet. You will get the end of the year information because I know that you will ask. I have the clicker. Okay, so as we make a connection to our current strategic plan priority tasks, I'll specifically be referring to 2A and 2B. The strategy here is to improve and implement Tier 1 and Tier 2 instruction with fidelity to address student learning needs in all classrooms. The two priority tasks, you can see them listed there below. So in summary, when we looked at our beginning of the year reading data at Perry, as when we talk about beginning of the year to winter, fall to winter, that's August to December. So our students engage in this iReady assessment, as you recall, 3 times each year. This is a report on their growth in reading specifically from their fall benchmark to the winter. What you'll see here is that in the initial assessment, you'll see that in light blue, and then in dark blue, you will see the growth that occurred from fall, which again is the light blue, to the dark blue for winter. And so you have all grade levels there, K through 5, where the number of students who are on grade level or above, and that percentage.
And I'll just point out there, the good news is the dark blues are above the light blue bars, so we've got more students that are progressing through, which is not a small challenge to make sure that we are closing the achievement gap. So this is really a big celebration. If you recall, as part of our IAR for our grades 3 through 5, we were much below these percentages up here for students that were on grade level. So this is a huge accomplishment in a very short amount of time.
Yes.
Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry for interrupting. What I really like seeing, yes, the dark blue is wonderful. I really like seeing kindergarten at that 60% because, as you know, that's going to continue. That's very good. Good base.
Any other questions or for that one? On to the next slide. I'm going to do a little bit more of a detailed explanation and focus on one specific area. So I first want to calibrate you that this data, when I talk about 3 or more levels below, includes specifically our 3rd through 5th grade students who engage in the state IAR assessment. So the goal here would be the opposite. You want to see the light blue go down as the blue goes up. I'm going to refer to it in light blue and dark blue for another minute. But if you start at 3 or more levels below, as that dark blue navy goes down, yes, those students will shift from, they could go to 2 or more levels below, 1 or more level below, early or on, or mid or above, okay? And so I just want to take you to the middle, 1 level below. You might wonder, well, why in the winter did that number, why didn't we have that much movement there? That's kind of like our sweet spot of like, students have this span of gaps, and we really have to get targeted to get them over that last hump to get them into on grade level or early grade level by the time they take that RAR assessment. So I want to give you some specific numbers. When we go back to that 3 or more levels below, we specifically are looking at 42 students who started there in that light blue 20%. And at the winter, in that dark blue, that was down to 19 students who still remained in literacy at 3 or more levels below in the assessment. Okay?
Good.
So when we look at math, again, I'll calibrate you back to the first chart we looked at, K through 5. You start out seeing that fall assessment, we had a smaller number in the light blue of students who were on or above grade level, and in the winter you see that increase. Moving on again, when we look at that 3 or more grade levels below, we're talking about 36 students who engaged in that assessment and leaving us at 11 who are still at that 3 or more grade levels below. So now what we'll do is, before the school year ends, our students will engage in the spring assessment, and we will look at this over the entire year. And we'll bring an over the entire year more specific data report as to the final growth and the proficiency of the students at Perry Elementary School.
What do you attribute this to?
So we hit the ground hard when we got that designation, but we had already, kind of started looking at the data in advance and getting some things in place. We went in as a district team and we supported that building with data digs, identifying those specific gaps by students who needed access to intervention that might not have been receiving it, targeting that they're able to fit that into their day. We, of course, as you remember in the previous presentation, we changed the schedule at the semester. So in January, we focused many more minutes in reading and math. And then we've been and built targeted professional development of, okay, I have this additional time in reading and math. How can we support teachers with those strategies that research says best allows our students to grow? I will also get into next the Perry leadership team that was formed in late December to specifically start to work on this in-depth work, and they've done a tremendous job of supporting and working with us in partnership with what needs to be done next for students at Perry. That's just a really brief summary, real brief, about the work that we've done to support
Thank
the
you.
building.
Thank you.
And if I can just highlight, because she's going to go into it, we've got people in the audience that have worked extensively, hence why we're doing the breakout for what, with the literacy pieces of it. But the team has been out there consistently working with that staff to really target how we can work with them and truly probably started in fall, you know. So this, the fact that we already made this much for the winter data, we're very hopeful that in what we're seeing in some trend data as well too, that we're going to see even greater progress. And that's why we want to come back, is because we feel very good about really the direction everything's treaded. And I think you're going to explain some of the other things we're targeting for what
Next
we've done
steps.
and what we'll be doing going forward.
I do want to just piggyback on, we have a large part of our academic district team that has been in support at Perry with anything that is needed as far as direct support to teachers, the administration, or even just going over there to support classrooms if something is needed because there's a meeting that needs to happen for kids.
Good.
So next steps, one of the major first tasks of this leadership team that we've built at Perry was to really dig into our data and look at what are our targets next and how we work with ISB in that piece is adding some SMART goals to our existing school improvement plan. And so what I have here are the 4 SMART goals that the leadership team has committed to. This is where the work will truly start in the next phase of what we do at Perry as the year 2 of the comprehensive status. And what will happen with these SMART goals is the team will take those back to their school level teams, and there we will determine what's a school-wide next step and what is the next step that needs to happen through action planning at grade level teams. And so these are our broad goals that we will focus on in reading, math, specifically to attendance and to behavior to support students, and those teams will take that back and work specifically K through 5 with their grade level teams and how that needs to look for each grade level at the building. And so what you have here is our proposed addendum to the current school improvement plan at Perry, which I will provide to you in a full summary to see all together at the next board meeting. Okay?
I'm happy to see attendance there. I really am. Kids have to be in school. I'm happy to see that.
Again, just to close on that, this was another area that our team here just supported, you know, what resources do you need? What questions do you have that we can answer just to help target what those goals should be for the students at Perry?
Board members, any questions or comments?
Just really exciting to see what's going on and how it's working. And thank you for everybody who's been involved in this. You guys are doing some really great work, and it's great. It's great to see it. Thank you.
In closing, because I could go on about this for a few hours. Here you will see a combination of next steps. Next steps, remembering the leadership team with administration has a vision for what's next for that building in conjunction with the expectations from ISB with the comprehensive plan. And so identifying and interviewing an approved ISB learning partner, it will be there to support these goals that we've identified and any future professional development that can be brought to the staff at Perry. Form a stakeholder group, which will include district administrators and community members, as well as school level staff. Continue our Perry leadership team meetings, gather feedback specifically from the staff about the schedule and those changes that happened at the semester and what we should continue or what maybe needs to stop or maybe what needs to be reconsidered. Finalize summer professional development opportunities, have our end of the year data meetings with the staff, update the school improvement plan in the ISB system, IWAS, and build the 23-24 professional development focus and topics, as well as plan for our 23-24 family engagement opportunities. And so these would be a summary of our next steps that I could share with you tonight. Are there any questions?
Board members? No? Thank you very much, Dr. Smith.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge the work of the Perry staff.
Yes.
The Perry leadership.
Yes.
The cooperation that we have working with LEAD and the other groups to help us support the building at the highest level. I want to recognize Principal Rowling at that building as well too for her support. And I also want to acknowledge both Dr. Smith and Ms. Sainsbury, who have been boots on the ground, and again, all of the central office staff that have gone out and really provided the additional support, because we are committed to that building to ensure that things get them back to the status that we know that they want to be at and will be at soon in the future, but it certainly takes all of the cooperation of everyone involved to make sure that we're able to do that. And I really want to thank everybody's getting on this right away, and I am confident that we'll return to where we need to be very shortly.
Yes, I always forget because I spend so much time with him, but specifically thank you to Mr. Williamson, because I'm hunting him down constantly about Perry and here's what we got next. What can we do in partnership? So I do want to make sure that I acknowledge that. Okay, Mr. Joski and Kelly Manalfi.
And just to frame this one up a little bit, and they'll tell you what goal this is, but this, you had asked to have more information about our post-secondary and career expectations framework. I know this is a program we're all very proud of, and again, what you'll see tonight is what are we continuing to do to build, to improve our existing programs to provide better opportunities for our students, and I know that's what you're here to do tonight, and I'm excited about it.
Good evening, Board of Education, Board President Dr. Scarpino, and Superintendent Dr. Harkin. Thank you for having Ms. Kelly Manolfi, Coordinator of Student Services, and myself, Joe Siskowski, Director of CT, Pathways in College and Career Readiness for the district, here tonight to speak to you about D300's work on the post-secondary and career expectations, or otherwise known as PACE framework. This is aligned to Strategic Plan Priority 2D, which the strategy is to strengthen early college experiences and credit options for all high school students, and the priority task is to improve student participation in career, college, and advanced coursework, inclusive of all student groups. As an overview, PACE was originally signed into law in July of 2016 for grades 9 through 12 as part of the Post-Secondary and Workforce Readiness Act, otherwise known as PWR. The intent of the PACE framework is to ensure all students are receiving age-appropriate opportunities to explore and learn about various post-secondary components that are essential for students as they develop and transition from high school into adulthood. There are three main components of PACE, which include career exploration and development, post-secondary education, exploration, preparation, and selection, and lastly, financial aid and literacy. The main components are integrated with each grade level. As represented in the Venn diagram, their main components show the commonalities and differences of each. The goal is for each student in District 300 to have a deep understanding of all three components prior to graduating high school. As I have previously presented to you, House Bill 3296, advancing on the PWR Act, was signed into law by Governor Pritzker on May 27th of 2022. This bill is connected to the Illinois State Board of Education's college and career pathway endorsements and the PACE framework, which continues to build on the previously mentioned Post-Secondary and Workforce Readiness Act, or the original PWR. This public act now requires school districts that serve students in grades 6 through 12 to have a 6 through 12 PACE framework in place. That requires that the framework be adopted and implemented no later than July 1st, 2025. The PACE framework will include activities and descriptions of supports aligned to the three components connected to an approved PACE framework that is publicly shared. Now I'll turn this presentation over to Kelly, who will speak to you to the overview of D300's PACE framework. Yep.
In the 2019-2020 school year, District 300 already started the development of the framework for grades 9 through 12, as you will see on the next slide. This framework was created based upon the model framework provided by ISB and the Illinois Student Assistance Commission. This work was completed by a PACE committee in collaboration with district and building administration, as well as lead collaboration. We'd like to recognize Mrs. Sherry Douglas, exploratory teacher at Westfield Middle School, who developed and provided an initial draft of a middle school PACE framework, grades 6 through 8, which is aligned to the PACE expectations, which are embedded in the exploratory course at all of the middle schools. What you have in front of you was the original PACE framework for grades 9 through 12 that was created in the 2019-2020 school year. As you can see, I know it's small, but as you can see, the PACE framework is broken down by grade level with the expectations of what students are supported to do and what students should know by the end of each grade level. Do you need more time looking at that? Okay. The PACE committee has reconvened and has been revising the current framework. The committee has representation from both building and district administration. Building administrators have been following up with lead members to gather feedback. We have a draft framework for grades 6 through 12 that will be presented to both middle and high school collaborative councils, as well as to our assistant principals, associate principals, and lead counselors for feedback. Throughout the remainder of this school year and into early next school year, we will collaborate with our communications department to update a finalized document that will be publicly shared next school year. We have started to collect information on various activities that are already implemented and aligned to the PACE framework. We will use this information to ensure that all components are being addressed for all of our 6th through 12th grade students. In addition to the work done on this committee, SchoolLinks, which is the online college and career exploration platform that was recently board approved, will be an essential part of communicating these opportunities, delivering the content, building a student portfolio related to this work over time, and lastly, the ability to track students' progress and district achievement with these components over time. I will now give it back to Joe, who will speak on our future action items with the PACE framework.
Our next steps are that we will begin collecting baseline data next school year as we work alongside SchoolLinks on the implementation of their platform. This will include working with SchoolLinks team on embedding as many of the determined PACE framework components into their platform, followed by supporting our staff and students as they are learning the platform. Professional development will begin on April 28th for the identified staff that will be using SchoolLinks the most, while offering additional professional development over the summer and throughout next school year. We'll be finalizing the draft of the PACE framework for grades 6 through 12, which will be publicly available upon completion. The committee will begin the discussion of extending the framework down to our elementary grades where it is appropriate. Furthermore, we will continue to develop additional building and district-led activities that are aligned to PACE framework so that all students who graduate from District 300 are well educated on post-secondary planning so they can be as prepared as possible to make the best decisions for themselves and their family following graduation. Any questions?
Board members, anything? No? Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, we have a big group coming up for this next one. So we're going to provide an update on instructional coaching. So Jorge Almodovar, Dr. Ami Engel, Adrian Harries, Curie Waller, Beth Gowdy, and David Rojas are here tonight to talk about our instructional coaching model.
Also, before you start, I want to say, Dr. Scarpino, these have been really good. A nice addition, makes you able to read the small print. Thank you.
So you would think by now we would know to not give me the opportunity to speak, but they keep doing it, so I'll keep seizing it. So tonight I actually get to start off introducing our general focus around coaching, myself and David Rojas. And then the rest of the coaches will follow up to just give you more of a drill down idea of what coaching is in District 300. And so I get to launch by saying that District 300, we boast a quality array of coaches who work with our educators in various capacities. As I said, over the next slides, our directors who serve as our coordinators for our instructional coaches will review several of the coaches' primary functions. I do want to launch by saying our coaching structure actually addresses 3 of our primary goals within our school improvement plan. First, we have Goal 1, improve student engagement and belonging, which is our Whole Child initiative. Goal number 2, increase student academic success. And last but not least, Goal 3, attain and retain highly qualified and diverse staff. All right. So the coaching structure centers around 5 key areas. So we have 5 key areas that our coaches focus on. A little bit about each. Our digital learning coaches, they coach support teachers in our use of digital technology, including Schoology, which is our primary instructional platform, as well as Power School, which is our student information system. They do a whole lot more, but those are some of the major things that they cover. Our math coaches, they specialize in supporting our teachers in pedagogy related to math, which includes our core math curriculum, our math intervention, math enrichment and support, our literacy, ELA, or reading. Make sure I include reading. Coaches, they focus on supporting teachers' pedagogy related to reading or ELA, including core ELA curriculum instruction, ELA intervention, enrichment, and support. Our language coaches, they specialize in supporting our dual language, our bilingual instruction, and supporting teachers in their pedagogy when it comes to addressing the needs of our dual language and our bilingual students. And last but not least, our inclusion coaches, they specialize in supporting teachers in making lessons culturally responsive and creating programming to ensure students of various cultural backgrounds feel welcomed and supported within our schools. All right, so regardless of the role, the goal of each of our coaches is to support effective instruction and enhance student learning. And so research from EAB, including a meta-analysis of 60 instructional coaching evaluations, found a large positive effect of coaching on instructional practice. All right, so that said, I am going to turn the microphone over to Beth Gowdy. There we go, Beth.
Okay. At District 300, coaching was originally implemented to support Title I buildings. It was implemented in a directive coaching model in which the goal of the coach was to help teachers master a certain skill or set of skills. When the district went one-to-one with devices for every student, District 300 also brought coaching district-wide in a facilitative coaching model. First with our digital literacy coaches, then expanding to include math, literacy, language, and inclusivity coaches. With a shift to facilitative coaching model, the role of the coach was adjusted to build the capacity of the teacher for the implementation of high-impact, student-centered instruction. The intent of this model is to support teachers to build confidence with new strategies and to provide professional growth through reflection and collegial dialogue. Our current vision for instructional coaching is: coaches aim to inspire and empower educators to reflect on their instructional practices and philosophies in alignment with District 300's central mission to empower and equip all students to succeed now and in the future.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Time out.
Yes.
Your second bullet point.
Yes.
Tell me what high impact means.
Yeah, so high impact will be research-based strategies that are specifically put in place to help students find success in the classroom.
Thank you.
So District 300 instructional coaches provide various services that positively impact staff and students. Coaches provide differentiated professional development on evidence-based practices in several ways throughout the school year. Coaches meet with individual teachers and collaborative teams to help establish instructional goals. Both novice and veteran teachers work with instructional coaches to help develop and refine their practices. They often partner with teachers to design engaging and differentiated lessons to meet the needs of all students. Once these lessons are designed, they can also model or co-teach the lesson with the classroom teachers. The instructional coaches can also support teachers through a coaching cycle. A coaching cycle is when an instructional coach and teacher meet to identify a focus area, set measurable goals, develop a plan, implement the new instructional strategy, and then assess the progress and reflect on its effectiveness. As you can see, instructional coaches provide many different supports for the teachers to positively impact student learning. Yeah.
What I like seeing is the modeling and the co-teaching. I really do. It's better than, I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
It's better than just do this,
Right.
model it. Very
Absolutely.
good.
Thank you.
Yep. I'm sorry, board members, I apologize. I apologize, I'm sorry. Board members, any questions or comments or anything? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm excited because I got the best slide of all. I get to show you some of the data. At this time, we have 45 instructional coaches currently supporting our buildings. Almost 2/3 of our teachers have met with a coach at least one time this year. Many have met with them many times, not just once. Our coaches have provided 652 targeted professional development sessions that align with specific building groups or needs. These professional development sessions include D300 universities that are run after school and during some of our breaks, ed-to-ed sessions, lunch and learns during the day, pop-up PD sessions that people can go to when they have a planning time, and then late start professional development sessions that have been collaborative between the building leaders and what they need and what the coaches can support. In addition, the coaches, the number's not up here because I couldn't calculate this number. In addition, the coaches provide large-scale district professional development on all of our in-service days. So all of our induction academies for our year 1 and year 2 teachers are impacted heavily by our coaches. The August in-service days, those 3 days before school begin, heavily influenced by coaches. Our October in-service day was very deeply influenced by our coaches. And this upcoming April in-service day has tons of coaching support. All 45 of our coaches are really busy making that day great right now. Between the start of the year and the end of Q1, which was like a week before spring break, just in that window, we held 19,703 coaching sessions. 19,000. That's a lot. The coaching appointments, of course, have a ton of different goals, and you've heard about some of them from some of the people who shared already. And I put another list up here of the ones that came up the most, those high-hitting ones when I went back and gathered a little bit more information. But the big support areas are listed there. Ultimately, our focus with these instructional coaches is on helping to grow the practice of our teachers, and with that, then influence the outcomes for our students.
So what are our next steps then for coaching? So first, we need to start, we want to know more about, we want to make sure that our strategies, we're developing strategies to increase the staff accessing coaching support. So we want to ensure that our teachers are using our coaches to improve their instructional practices to, of course, increase achievement for all the students. We continue to collaborate with LEAD and building principles on the development of our coaching program so more teachers continue using this support. This year, we have been working very closely with the entire team of coaches to ensure our coaching practices are more consistent. It is imperative that regardless of the school or coach who the teachers select to meet with, all teachers should be getting a consistent and similar coaching cycle approach. Also, we want to continue to explore ways to optimize the impact of all instructional coaches. When teachers are meeting with coaches, we want to see an impact in student learning. So research indicates that teachers retain a high level of knowledge from instructional coaching because they typically have an opportunity to immediately apply what they learned. Also, this year, as we continue, we will work on identify ways to evaluate and monitor our coaching system. We want to make sure that we are always identifying the strengths and the areas that we need to continue improving, because at the end of the day, we want to know if the coaching is being effective in student learning. The coaching model is part of our academic return on investment project. We want to know things like what is our ROI, is investment in coaching positively impacting student learning, what changes do we need to make to our system to keep improving it. This project will give us that opportunity to understand the needs of our teachers and how we can support them better. Understanding also the coaching is dynamic and it changes with the needs of our teachers and our students. That concludes our presentation. Do you have any questions for us?
Board members, anything?
I don't have any questions, but I'd just like to commend you guys on the very robust program you obviously have in place. And like Dr. Scarpino said a little earlier, it's great to be able to have teachers work with somebody who's done it before and knows what they're doing, can model it, can help them through it. And I think it's something that's a great asset to the district, and I think it's going to benefit. Being the mother of a young teacher in the district, I think it's benefiting. I mean, I can see it, things that she's learned and has talked about, and to me, it's just a great idea, and you obviously have, like I said, a robust program going, so thank you.
It is a great support.
Steve?
I echo Nancy's comments and then also maybe two requests. One, because it is a huge asset, it's clearly seems to be working. The numbers were very impressive, top line numbers. I would like to meet some of the 45, if that's possible, request. And I'd like to hear maybe directly from them, some stories, because I think the stories relate to how are we supporting our educators, right? And that's a lot of what we do. So if they're the ones that are doing that and they're in the front line of supporting our educators, I think it would be a good idea to, the board hears at some point directly from some of them anyway. I'd like to see who those mass people are because I hear about it a lot and I meet them in the schools, but we don't often get to know who they are. And clearly they're a talented group, so.
Yep. My recommendation would be is we're going to give you periodic updates on the progress of the strategic plan, and this is an area that we are focusing on. So for goal 5, we are doing the academic return on investment. So when we come back to give an update, we'll definitely include some of those coaches too.
Great.
We also could potentially bring back the ones that are working directly with Perry as well too. Because we've got some really phenomenal people that are responsible for who have assisted with. So I'm thinking either one of those might be great places to bring
I can
them back.
collaborate with Mr. Williamson again, and we can talk to those coaches at Perry, because a lot of that work that I discussed, when I say it was done in collaboration with staff, that included instructional coaches that are targeting the work at Perry.
Yeah, so I think in probably both. We can bring back the Perry coaches specifically, and again, when we come back to bring an update on what we're doing for some of the other goals and do the progress monitoring, we can bring back them as well too.
So I just would like to end by, again, thanking you all for your leadership in this. I think that it's something that we discussed a lot and we invested in, and the investment's paying off. And so I don't want, what I asked for to diminish all the great things that are being done. I think we just like to hear, at least I would like to hear directly from some of those folks as part of our updates. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Good job, folks.
All right, thank
Good
you.
job.
Great. All right, and we have 2 more. So Dr. Mark Wetzel, if you could come up to give us an update on our AP World History Modern Materials Adoption recommendation.
I like it. You made me a doctor. I'll take
Aren't you
it.
a doctor? I thought you
I'm
were.
not.
No.
That'd be my dad. Yeah. I'll take it, though. The other Dr. Wetzel, yeah. Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Harkin, and community members. I'm here tonight to bring forth a recommendation for new materials for the AP World History Modern course. This is a small-scale adoption. Next year, we are planning to have one section of the course at Dundee Crown High School and one section at Hampshire, totaling about 25 students, depending on how things work out with enrollment. This recommendation aligns with the Strategic Plan Priority Task 2D. Our current resource is 10 years old. It's outdated according to College Board. And although we reviewed the current text that we have as part of our process, we will be recommending a different text because it better meets the needs of our students as they seek to earn college credit upon completing the AP course. Although our primary goal is for all kids to learn at a high rate, when we take AP courses, one of the main goals is to be successful on the AP test so that we can earn college credit. The AP World History Modern elective is a college-level history survey course that focuses on the study of cultural, economic, political, and social developments from 1200 to the present. After a comprehensive review that included an analysis of current needs of students and staff, a review of available materials that are pre-approved by College Board, a review from the technology team to ensure integration with our learning management system, and a review performed by all of the AP World History Modern teachers and high school division chairs, the team is unanimously recommending the digital adoption of the book Advanced Placement World History Modern from Perfection Learning. Feedback from the teacher review team indicated numerous strengths of the book. The resource has a clear, well-organized structure, explicit alignment to College Board's AP course framework, rigorous college-level reading material, robust practice assessment opportunities in each unit, such as stimulus-based multiple choice and short answer questions, document-based questions, long essay questions, and a full practice exam fully aligned to the updated AP question styles. The recommended package includes digital access to the materials, an online platform for each student, and teacher access to the online platform and all teacher resources for 6 years. Our next steps are to make these materials available for public viewing and to request formal approval from the board in May. What questions may I answer?
Board members, anything? Yes.
So I think you mentioned there'd be one section each at Dundee, Crown, and Hampshire, not Jacobs?
Yeah, it's an elective course, so
Okay.
it's based on student interest.
Okay.
And one of our goals is to increase the amount of sections that we have and work with Jacobs to make sure that that happens there as well. And so we're going to work to do that.
And does this cost cover if Jacobs were to need to be added, or would that be an additional cost?
This cost is based on the current number of students we have for next year, but we can work with purchasing and this developer in order to change those licenses based on our enrollment.
Okay, thank you.
Any other board members? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, and last but not least, I will bring Mr. Harries back, and he'll be brief on just providing an update on Day of Silence.
Brief.
Always.
Brief.
There we go. So really quick, it is my honor. This is the third year in a row I've got to have the opportunity to launch our district in the National Day of Silence. And every year we kind of learn from the previous year to get better. Very quickly, this addresses, once again, that whole child, goal 1 of our school improvement plan, specifically key priority, improve student engagement and belonging. So what is the Day of Silence? For those that don't know, the Day of Silence initially started in '96. It was a student-led protest from the University of Virginia in which 2 members of the LGBT community turned the idea of silence kind of on its head and actually used silence as a show of strength, because normally we don't associate silence with strength. By leading a protest to support members of the LGBT community and get better treatment for the students at the University of Virginia. Fast forward 5 years, and literally over 100 colleges had kind of mirrored the student-led protest. Fast forward more, because I am trying to be brief, by 2022, you actually have most schools in all 50 states that honor and recognize this day, and is actually expanded to countries outside of the United States. So it actually has become not only a national, but an international observance. So very quickly, for us, there are 4 key pillars for the Day of Silence. First and foremost, it allows us an opportunity to address history, to acknowledge the historical struggle that members of the LGBT community have endured in their fight to ensure equal rights and equal treatment under the law. Secondly, for us as the district, it's an anti-bullying message. It serves to inform all of our students that we accept them no matter how they show up. Third, embraces cultural and gender diversity Day celebrates the vast diversity that exists not only in society, but in our schools right here in D300. Last but not least, it makes our schools a safe space for all students. Students within the LGBT community, as we've presented in the past, experience a higher degree of bullying and harassment than their peers. The more we can embrace all students at school, the more we enhance a sense of belonging, and the more we allow all students to reach their greatest potential, which at the end of the day is our goal. Very quickly, a couple of few misconceptions that we would love to clear up. The day and the school day in and of itself does not change. We all of a sudden didn't get into teaching about sexuality. That's not our role. That is a parent's role. So it's not like on this day we provide any instruction around sexuality, sexual orientation, or gender identification. Only those students who are interested in participating are asked to be silent, and we actually purposely purchase things because we know some of our kids can't be silent but still want to honor our students that are part of the LGBT community. So that's part of the reason why we purchased stickers, flags this year. We did arm bracelets because, once again, not everybody can afford. Like, I know I honor this day, but my job is to talk. And so therefore I can't be silent. And so you'll see me with some other form of I couldn't if I tried. So you'll see me with some other form of paraphernalia so that people know that I am fully in support of this day. Questions arise as to why we message the day. And first off, it's so that like one of our big hopes is that teachers will be mindful and try to create some activities so that they're honoring those students that they know can't participate in like longer or bigger discussions. And so we want our staff to know, so that we can mod if we need to mod. We also want parents to know, because for us, it's an area where, as a parent, I would love to have conversation with my kid, but if I don't know, then I can't have that conversation. So that's why we send a message at minimum a week. This year, it was about 8-9 days prior to the Day of Silence, because we want to be upfront, let our families know. So that's the Day of Silence, which will be this Friday. We have some paraphernalia in the office if anybody cares to stop by and pick something up. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I understand this seems to be a school-focused day. Is there anything, or can you give us any guidance or suggestions about how, as just community members, that we can be supportive?
If you are in a position where you can honor the silence goes from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. It's very rare that people in the form of business can do that. But if you want to block out some time in which you can honor that degree of silence. And once again, one of the other things we do is all of our schools do get their like a packet of material was delivered. And so if you really do want to stop by the office, one of the things that was really important to me this year is that central office not be left out. And so we actually have, I broke out the flags and the armbands today, and next thing I know, I look up and quite a few of them were gone. So that means that people within our central office want to make sure that they honor all students. And so if you want to stop by, more than happy to. But it's really just pride in our LGBTQ students in our community. And so anything you can don that shows that would be wonderful. I probably will come in a rainbow shirt with an LGBT. Actually, you never see me outside of a suit. But I'll figure out a way to make sure I honor that day. Last year we did some really sharp lanyards. That I don't know, everybody kind of gobbled up. We tried to find the same ones this year because they had a D300 logo on them. Not able to find them, but we found some decent replacements. So there's a number of ways you can honor the day. Actually, I see Hummel. Hummel's got one on right now. So beautiful. Actually, so does Dr. Harkin. So,
Mr. Fiorentino.
Can you go back to the misconception slide?
Sure.
Because there's one I'd like to add or ask you about.
Fine.
So, regarding our staff, we've had people in the community say or ask if a staff member is supportive and they don't, we'll just say, let's say it's a teacher, right, in a school. They support this, so they don't want to communicate or verbally communicate.
In the number of years I've actually either been a principal or in this role supporting this day, staff knows that when they come to school, unfortunately, generally they have to communicate, but it's part of their job. But as I just pointed out, there's a number of ways that you can be in support of this day without moving to the point where you're in full silence. I've got a number of family members that are part of the community. It's a big day for me. I honor them every time I come, but especially on this day. But once again, my job doesn't allow me to be in a place where I'm able to be silent for the day. And so there's other ways that I make sure I honor them and other members of the LGBTQ community. And most of our staff, and this is something that our coaches are available to help, can find other ways to honor and acknowledge members of our LGBTQ community. And if there's any question, each one of our schools now actually has a degree of support from one of our inclusion coaches. Just ask the inclusion coach. And we've also created some ways for people to be able to reach out to them digitally if they've got some questions about how they can honor this day when they can't afford to be silent. Great question. Thank you. Any other questions? If you haven't noticed, I love talking about this one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
You all have a good one.
Okay. Item number 10, the items for discussion. I will read each item individually to allow for any discussion. As a note to those in attendance, both virtually and in person, some of these items have been vetted through either the Finance Committee or the Construction Facilities Oversight Committee, CFOC, which is why there may not be a need for any discussion. 10.1, Board Meeting Minutes for March 21st, 2023. 10.2, Disposal Report. 10.3, Treasurer's Report. 10.4, Community Partnership Agreement Renewal. 10.5, Community Action Agency Collaborative Agreement Renewal. 10.6, Copy Paper District-Wide Bid Extension. 10.7, Capital Project Summer 2023 Gas Road Bid. 10.8, Dual Language Reading Program Contract Renewal. 10.9, Google Workplace for Education Plus Contract. 10.10, Instructional Software and Electronic Subscription Contracts Renewal. 10.11, Event Services Contract. 10.12, Time Tracking Software Contract Renewal. 10.13, Grounds Equipment Lease Agreement. 10.14, Universal Screener Contract Renewal. 10.15, Online-Based Learning Contract Renewal. 10.16, Private Placement Contract Renewal. And 10.17, Freedom of Information Act Report. Item number 11, the consent items. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items?
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zeller. Aye. Fiorentino.
Aye.
Burkett.
Aye.
Lamarca. Aye. Stevens.
Aye.
Thomas. Aye. And Scarpino.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Roll call action items. Item 12.1, Employee Discipline Case Number 2. Be it resolved by the Board of Education, the Board of Community Unit School District 300, Kane, McHenry, Cook, and DeKalb Counties, Illinois, the district as follows. Number 1, the Board herewith finds and determines that evidence shows that Laura Springings, a tenured teacher in the district, acted in an inappropriate and unprofessional manner when providing instruction to students. Number 2, the President and Secretary of this Board of Education are hereby authorized and directed to serve or cause to be served on Laura Springings a 3-day unpaid suspension and a notice to remedy substantially in the form of Exhibit 1 attached hereto and made part hereof. The notice to remedy also references directives which, if not followed, may result in the employee's dismissal. Number 3, this resolution shall be in full force and effect upon its adoption. Number 4, The 3-day unpaid suspension days will be served on dates to be determined by the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, adopted this 11th day of April 2023 by a roll count. Any questions? Do I have a motion for the approval of employee discipline case number 2? And there's no discussion. Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler.
Aye.
Thomas. Fiorentino.
Aye.
Lamarca. Aye. Scarpino.
Aye.
Stevens. And Burkett.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item 12.2, employee discipline case number 3. Be it resolved by the Board of Education, the Board of Community Unit School District 300, Kane, McHenry, Cook, and DeKalb Counties, Illinois, the district, as follows. Number 1, the board herewith finds and determines that evidence shows that Virginia Pingatori, a tenured teacher in the district, failed to comply with board policy 5:50. Number 2, the president and secretary of the board are hereby authorized and directed to serve or cause to be served on Virginia Pingatori a 3-day unpaid suspension and a notice to remedy substantially in the form of Exhibit 1 attached hereto and made a part hereof. The notice to remedy also references directives which, if not followed, may result in the employee's dismissal. Number 3, this resolution shall be in full force and effect upon its adoption. Number 4, the 3-day unpaid suspension days will be served on dates to be determined by the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, adopted this 11th day of April 2023 by a roll call vote. Is there any discussion? May I have a motion to approve the employee discipline case number 3?
So moved. Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Stevens.
Aye.
Zettler.
Aye.
Burkett.
Aye.
Fiorentino.
Aye.
Lamarca. Aye. Scarpino.
Aye.
Thomas. Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item 12.3, approval to display AP World History materials. Do I have a motion for the approval to display AP World History materials?
So moved.
Any discussion? Is there a second?
Second.
There was a second?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. And there's no discussion? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Lamarca. Aye. Zeller.
Aye.
Thomas. Stevens. Burkett.
Aye.
Fiorentino.
Aye.
Scarpino.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 13, board discussion. Any updates on the board committees?
I would like to give an update and thank Mr. Scarpino, or Mr. Fiorentino, apologize for that, for allowing me to do that. He chaired the meeting today, but it was my final meeting today. And the first thing that I wanted to do is thank everyone for putting me on that committee. It's a great committee to be on. I think that the two of you sitting back there ought to fight over who wants to be on it, because it's really where all the action takes place and how the district is funded. It's a fun committee to work with. Jennifer does a great job. All the people that are there for the right reasons. I can tell you that today we talked about, we have on our agenda, as the Dr. Scarpino read, that will appear in the next meeting, the approval of a robot to stripe our football fields, which I think is really a cool thing, at every high school. So it's not like it's going to be limited in its use. And we also found out that Mr. Fiorentino dug a little bit and found out that we can put school logos on the field should we choose to do that, and it'll all be done by a robot. It's kind of fun to watch. The people that used to do it promised they wouldn't get a lawn chair and sit out there and watch it work, but I might, and Steve might. You don't know. The good news is Gas Road is going to be completed and a sidewalk put in so that there's no more grassy area across the fields to walk out in Hampshire. And the construction at DMS, converting that school from being an all-electric school to one that is supplied more traditionally by gas, is taking place. It's a 3-year project, and it's well underway. The summer construction period is also well in the planning stage, and it's in good hands. But the one that I'm most pleased with, and I want to stress, this is an indication only, but we have reason to hope that there may be a traffic signal at Big Timber and Ridgecrest, which has been a concern for many, many parents, and us as well, but that's not our decision. It's IDOT. And nothing final yet, but we have reason to hope that there will be one. If anybody has ever watched one of these projects take place, I'd like to say it would be ready if it's approved by the state by the beginning of the school, but that's no guarantee. For some reason, it seems like such a simple thing to do, but it's actually quite complicated and takes a long time. So bear with us. All along, Dr. Harkin has been saying to people that we would continue to check, and we've done that. And this last time, we have reason to be optimistic, but it ain't done yet. So, and I want to thank Dr. Scarpino for assigning me that committee. I have enjoyed it tremendously, and I look forward to turning the reins over to whoever the new co-chair will be working with, Mr. Fiorentino. Christina?
Go ahead, Mr. Fiorentino.
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
I think I would like to just add to that because it was very comprehensive. As you can see in our agenda here that Dr. Scarpino talked about, items for discussion, I think we reviewed more than half of those items in committee. But the one thing he left out, which I thought was the most important agenda item tonight or today prior to this meeting, was a recognition of one of the best committee chairmen we've ever had, and that's Joe Stevens. So I've had the privilege of sitting alongside Mr. Stevens for many years. I've chaired committees and co-chaired committees with him and sat on Monday nights and Tuesday nights, and when I add it all up, it's, I think, about 250 or 300 hours that we've spent. But about a year or two ago, we made the decision, the board made the decision to bring these two committees together. And I think it's one of the better things we've done.
Best thing we ever did, yeah.
So,
I shouldn't say the best thing, but one of the best.
yeah. So, and partly that is because of Mr. Stevens' leadership in committee work. He is one of those board members that doesn't only come here on a Tuesday night. Not that that's not critical of board work and governance. He is truly committed to committee work. And he showed that to me back in 2011 when I started this journey as a board member. He's been a steady committee leader. He's always asked the tough questions. And I really appreciate that. And, you know, he does what the community asks of him, and that's do that. And that's sometimes puts a little more pressure on some of our beloved staff. But I say, well done, Mr. Stevens. You've done a wonderful job. And again, it's been my privilege to sit next to you and co-chair of this committee for the past couple of years. I appreciate all you've done in committee work, and thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
Any other board members have anything? No?
I do.
Oh, go right ahead.
The Thursday before spring break, Dr. Smith and I attended an IASB event, which is the Illinois Association of School Boards, that was really focused on presentation about multi-tiered systems of support. And I just have to say, again, to reiterate, that our team is doing great work here. When they'd bring something up, Martina would lean over me and tell me, like, we're already doing this and here's how we're doing it. So I feel very grateful for that and for everyone that's working with you, Dr. Smith, on those efforts. It was great to see you taking notes and getting ideas and just seeing that we're really trying to do our best for our kids. So I encourage other board members to try and attend some of those because they really are good learning opportunities. to learn more about what's happening, again, statewide. Thank you.
Any other board members?
I just wanted to say something really quick. Earlier, when I read the good news, I made a joke at the end that I should be given credit for, saying all these names, but I really want to say that the fact that we have this many people in this district that are recognized this year as being exemplary employees by the foundation is another credit to this district and the talent that we have here, and the people who are dedicated at doing their job and doing their job well every single day for our kids. So I did not want to take away from any of that by my joke, but these are people that we should be very, very proud of, and I am, for one, very, very proud of them.
Any other board members? Okay, we're not having a second closed session, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Stephen? Aye. DeMarco? Aye. Burkett?
Aye.